Welcome back, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving into the world of dimes, but not just any dimes. We're talking about the top 6 most valuable dimes that could be hiding in your collection, pocket change, or even an old jar of coins. These aren't just silver dimes. Seasoned collectors know them as diamond dimes because of their incredible value. Some of these rare dimes have fetched unbelievable prices at auctions, and who knows? You might have one without even realizing it. Stay with me until the very end because you don't want to miss which dimes made this list. Let's start. Number 1. 1967 1 dime. The 1967 Roosevelt Dime might seem like an ordinary coin at first glance. But what if I told you that some of these dimes could be worth an incredible amount of money? Imagine finding a tiny piece of change in your pocket, only to realize it could be worth thousands. That's exactly what has happened to lucky collectors who've come across certain rare dimes from this year. And today, we're diving deep into what makes the 1967 dimes so special, why some of them are so valuable, and how you might just have one hiding in your collection. Now, if you're a coin collector or just someone who enjoys searching through change, you might already know that dimes from the 1960s have a fascinating history. By 1967, the U.S. Mint was still adjusting to major changes in coin production. Just 2 years earlier, in 1965, the United States had removed silver from dimes and quarters, switching to a copper-nickel composition. Because of this transition, many coins from the late 1960s can be found with unusual features, errors, and striking issues. One of the most common questions people ask about the 1967 Roosevelt dime is whether it has a mint mark. Unlike many other coins, dimes from this year were struck without any mint marks. That means whether the coin was produced in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, there is no small letter indicating the mint of origin. But that doesn't mean there aren't rare variations. Some collectors have found dimes with strange markings, errors, and even possible anomalies that could make them incredibly valuable. Speaking of errors, this is where things get really exciting. Error coins are some of the most sought-after pieces in the world of numismatics, and the 1967 dime has a few that have made headlines. One of the most famous errors is the doubled die, where parts of the coin's design appear slightly duplicated due to misalignment during the minting process. This can be seen in areas like the lettering, Roosevelt's profile, or even the date itself. A strong doubled die error can turn a regular dime into a collector's dream, with values soaring based on the clarity of the doubling. Another fascinating error found on the 1967 dime is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned with the dies, causing the design to be shifted to one side. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin can be. Some extreme cases show nearly half of the coin's surface blank, making them highly desirable to collectors. Then there's the broad strike error, which occurs when a dime is struck without a proper collar, causing it to spread out and lose its typical shape. These coins often appear larger and have unusual edges, making them stand out instantly when searching through a collection or a jar of spare change. One of the rarest and most valuable errors that can appear on a 1967 dime is the transitional error. This happens when a coin is struck on a planchet, blank coin, meant for another year or metal composition. Given the changes happening at the mint during the 1960s, some transitional errors have been discovered where dimes were accidentally struck on silver planchets instead of copper-nickel ones. If you ever come across a 1967 dime that looks a little too shiny or sounds different when dropped on a hard surface, it might be worth checking its metal content. Now, how do you identify whether you have a valuable 1967 dime? The first step is to examine it closely under good lighting. Look for any doubling in the letters or numbers, check for off-center strikes, and see if the edges appear normal or irregular. If you suspect you have a silver transitional error, weighing the coin can help determine its metal content. Silver dimes are slightly heavier than their copper-nickel counterparts. And here's the part everyone has been waiting for: just how much can a rare 1967 dime be worth? Well, While regular 1967 dimes in circulated condition are generally worth face value, certain rare error varieties and high-grade examples have sold for astonishing amounts. In fact, one particular 1967 Roosevelt dime with a highly desirable error fetched an incredible $68,000 at auction. That's right, $68,000 for a single dime. It's stories like these that keep collectors searching and make coin collecting such an exciting hobby. So, the next time you're going through your pocket change, take a closer look at those dimes. You never know, you might be holding on to a hidden treasure worth a fortune. Have you ever found an error coin or a valuable dime in your collection? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating stories about rare and valuable coins. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting! Number 2, 1978 1 dime. Have you ever taken a closer look at the dimes in your pocket? Most people don't think twice about these small coins. But what if I told you that a 1978 Roosevelt dime could be worth an astonishing amount of money? Yes, a simple dime from your change could be a hidden treasure, and today, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare 1978 dimes, their mint marks, errors, and what makes some of them so incredibly valuable. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just be checking every dime you come across. The 1978 Roosevelt dime is part of a long-running series that began in 1946, honoring the 32nd President of the United States, Franklin D. Roosevelt. By the late 1970s, the U.S. Mint had already shifted to a copper-nickel composition for dimes, completely removing silver from circulation. However, despite this modernized minting process, some very interesting and valuable errors still manage to escape into circulation, and collectors today are willing to pay big money for the right one. One of the first things collectors look for when examining a 1978 dime is its mint mark, or the lack of one. In 1978, Roosevelt dimes were produced at 3 different U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Dimes from Denver and San Francisco bear a small mint mark just above the date, D for Denver and S for San Francisco. However, dimes struck in Philadelphia do not have a mint mark. While this might seem unimportant, there's a rare error involving a missing mint mark that can turn an ordinary dime into a highly sought-after collector's item. One of the most famous errors found on the 1978 dime is the no S proof error. This rare mistake occurred at the San Francisco Mint, where certain proof dimes, coins made specifically for collectors, were accidentally struck without the S mint mark. This was not supposed to happen, and only a very small number of these error dimes were ever released. If you come across a 1978 proof dime without a mint mark, you could be holding something extremely valuable. But that's not the only error that makes 1978 dimes valuable. Another sought-after error is the doubled die. This happens when the coin's design is struck more than once, causing parts of the image or lettering to appear slightly duplicated. While some doubled die errors are subtle, others are very noticeable, making them incredibly desirable among collectors. Strong doubling on the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust" can significantly increase the value of a 1978 dime. Then, there's the off-center strike error. This occurs when a coin is not properly aligned with the dies during minting, causing the design to be shifted to one side. The more dramatic the off-center shift, the more valuable the coin becomes. Some extreme cases show the design nearly cut in half, making them rare and highly collectible. Another rare error is the broad strike. This happens when a coin is struck without the collar that normally shapes its edges, resulting in a slightly larger and flatter dime. These broad strike dimes are fascinating to collectors because they showcase a mistake in the minting process, making them unique compared to standard dimes. One of the rarest errors to look out for is the transitional error. This occurs when a coin is struck on the wrong metal composition, such as a leftover silver planchet from previous years. While no confirmed cases of a 1978 dime struck on silver have been found, transitional errors have been discovered on other coins from the era, meaning it's always worth checking your dimes just in case. Now, How do you know if you have a valuable 1978 dime? First, closely examine your dime under good lighting. Look for missing mint marks, doubled lettering, or any signs of an off-center strike. If you suspect you have an error dime, consider weighing it. Any unusual weight differences could indicate a rare planchet mistake. Also, proof dimes without the S mint mark should be authenticated by a professional grading service, as they are among the most valuable Roosevelt dime errors ever discovered. And here's the moment you've been waiting for. Just how much can a rare 1978 dime be worth? While most circulated 1978 dimes are worth only their face value, rare error varieties in top condition have sold for huge amounts. In fact, one exceptional 1978 Roosevelt dime with a rare and desirable error fetched an incredible $60,000 at auction. Yes, $60,000 for a single dime. It's discoveries like these that make coin collecting so exciting. So, the next time you're handling pocket change, take a moment to inspect those dimes. You never know when you might come across a hidden fortune. Have you ever found a rare or unusual dime in your collection? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing stories about rare and valuable coins. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting! Number 3. 1981 Dime P Mint Mark. Imagine reaching into your pocket for a dime, a coin so small and seemingly insignificant. But what if that dime turned out to be worth thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars? Today, we're talking about a coin that many overlook, the 1980 Roosevelt Dime. While most people are used to seeing dimes as just a small part of their everyday change, some of these 1980 dimes have rare features that could make them incredibly valuable. You might just have one of these rare finds in your collection, so keep watching to discover what makes the 1980 dime so special. Let's start with the basics. The 1980 Roosevelt dime was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and you'll notice that it doesn't have a mint mark. Why is that important? Well, during this time, the Philadelphia Mint didn't always include a mint mark on coins produced there, unlike dimes from the Denver or San Francisco mints, which would have a D or S mint mark above the date. The absence of the mint mark on these dimes might seem like an afterthought, but it's one of the key things collectors look for when determining a coin's origin. While the lack of a mint mark isn't a major error on its own, some very rare 1980 dimes have been found with unique features that can increase their value dramatically. These error coins can be quite exciting to discover, and the 1980 dimes are no exception. Coin collectors and enthusiasts spend years hunting down these errors, which makes them especially valuable if you manage to find one. One of the most notable errors that has been found on 1980 dimes is the double die error. This error occurs when the dies used to strike the coins become misaligned, causing the design to be stamped multiple times on the coin, resulting in noticeable doubling. On a doubled die, you can often spot the duplication in the lettering or even in parts of Roosevelt's profile. If you're lucky enough to find a 1980 dime with a doubled die, you're holding on to a very special coin. The clearer the doubling and the more noticeable the error, the higher the value can go. But that's not the only error to look out for. Another type of error on the 1980 dime is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is struck slightly out of alignment with the dies, causing the design to shift to one side of the coin. These off-center dimes can be especially striking, and the further off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin can become. Some extreme off-center dimes have been known to sell for a significant premium due to their unusual appearance and rarity. There's also the possibility of a broad strike error, which occurs when the coin is struck without the collar that normally shapes the edge of the coin. As a result, the coin becomes wider and may have uneven edges. A broad strike dime from 1980 is considered a major minting mistake, and if you're fortunate enough to come across one, you could have a rare piece that's worth far more than its face value. Now, how do you know if you have one of these rare error dimes? First, inspect your 1980 dime carefully. Look at the design, especially around the lettering and numbers, to see if there's any doubling or unusual marks. If you find a noticeable double die error, that's a great sign. Also, check the alignment of the coin's design. If it seems off-center or if the edges don't look quite right, you could be dealing with a valuable error coin. Another key thing to check is the coin's condition. Higher-grade coins, those in excellent or near-perfect condition, tend to be worth more, even without errors. If your 1980p dime is in uncirculated or gem condition, it could fetch a higher price in the market simply because of its overall state. Now, let's get to the exciting part: the value of these rare 1980p dimes. While most 1980p dimes are worth just their face value of 10 cents, rare error versions can be worth a lot more. One particularly valuable 1980p dime with a significant error, such as a doubled die or off-center strike, has sold for an incredible $57,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right, $57,000 for a single dime. That's what makes coin collecting so fascinating: the potential for finding something worth much more than its initial face value. The rarer the error and the better the condition, the more valuable the coin becomes. So, the next time you're sorting through your spare change or reviewing your collection, remember to take a closer look at any 1980p dimes. You could be holding onto a coin that's worth a small fortune. Have you ever found a rare or unusual dime in your collection? Or perhaps you've stumbled upon a 1980p dime with an error? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable and rare coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting! Number 4. 1987 1 Dime D Mint Mark. If you've ever dug through your change looking for rare finds, you might have come across a 1987 dime. But did you know that a simple dime from this year could be worth a small fortune? That's right, a 1987 Roosevelt Dime, which seems like just another common coin, could actually be hiding a valuable error that might make it worth tens of thousands of dollars. Today, we're going to explore what makes the 1987 dime so special, what errors to look out for, and just how much some of these rare dimes have sold for in recent years. By the end of this video, you might just look at your spare change a little differently. Let's start by talking about the 1987 dime's mint mark. As the name suggests, the D Mint mark tells us that this dime was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the 3 main U.S. mint facilities. This D Mint mark is placed just above the year, and for most coins from this era, it's a standard feature. However, not every coin produced in the U.S. has a mint mark. Some were struck at the Philadelphia Mint and don't carry any mint mark at all. But in the case of the 1987 dime, the D Mint mark is significant, as it indicates the origin of the coin and may play a role in determining its rarity, especially when combined with error features. While a typical 1987 dime may not seem that remarkable on its own, there's something to look for that could make it highly valuable. Like many coins, dimes from this era were often struck with minor errors during the minting process. But the 1987 dime has some especially notable error varieties that collectors and numismatists hunt for. Error coins that can increase its value significantly. One of the most valuable errors you can find on a 1987 dime is the double die error. A double die occurs when the coin's design is struck more than once by the dies, causing the image or lettering to appear as if it has been duplicated or slightly shifted. In the case of the 1987 dime, doubling is often seen in the word Liberty or in the date. The doubling may be subtle, but with a keen eye and a little patience, it's possible to spot this error. A strong double die error on a 1987 dime can send its value skyrocketing. Another error to keep an eye out for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned with the dies during the minting process. As a result, part of the coin's design may be missing or shifted off to one side. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the dime becomes. Some off-center 1987 dimes are so misaligned that the entire design is almost cut off, making them highly prized among collectors. Broad strike errors are also something to look for on 1987 dimes. This error occurs when the coin is struck without a collar, which is the part of the die that shapes the edge of the coin. Without the collar, the coin can spread out more than usual, making it wider and flatter. Broad strike dimes are very distinctive, and collectors love them for their unusual appearance. If you find a 1987 D dime with this type of error, you could have a very rare and valuable coin on your hands. The condition of the coin also plays a huge role in determining its value. If you happen to find a 1987 D dime in near perfect condition, even without an error, it can still be worth more than face value, particularly if it's uncirculated. Coins with little to no wear, sharp details, and excellent color are more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated. High-grade dimes, whether they feature an error or not, can fetch a nice price from collectors.so. What's the value of a rare 1987 D dime with an error? Well, it depends on the error and the condition of the coin. Most 1987 D dimes are worth only face value, about 10 cents, but when you come across a dime with an exceptional error, whether it's a double die, off-center strike, or broad strike, the value can be much higher. One particular 1987 D Roosevelt dime with a significant error recently sold for a staggering $48,000 at auction. Yes, that's right, $48,000 for a single dime. It's these rare error coins that make coin collecting so thrilling. You never know when you might come across a dime that's worth far more than its face value. So, next time you go through your spare change, make sure to take a good look at any 1987 D dimes you have. You could be holding on to a hidden gem. Have you ever found a rare 1987 D dime? Or any other coin with a minting error? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on the latest coin discoveries. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting! Number 5. 1977 1 dime. If you've ever picked up a dime and thought it was just another small coin, it's time to take a second look, because you might just be holding on to something worth a fortune. Today, we're diving into a particularly rare and valuable dime from the 1970s. The 1977 Roosevelt Dime. You might be wondering, how could a simple dime be worth anything more than 10 cents? Well, some 1977 dimes carry minting errors or rare features that make them highly valuable to collectors. Stick with me as we explore what makes the 1977 dime so special and how you can spot one of these precious coins. The 1977 Roosevelt dime was struck during a time when the U.S. Mint was producing coins in a copper-nickel composition, and the design featured President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who's been honored on the dime since 1946. Now, the first thing to know about the 1977 dime is its mint mark. The mint mark tells us where the coin was produced, and in this case, you'll notice that many of the 1977 dimes have a D mint mark, which indicates they were struck at the Denver Mint. However, there's also a subset of dimes from 1977 that were struck at the Philadelphia Mint and didn't carry any mint mark. While this might seem like a small detail, the lack of a mint mark can play a significant role in the value of a coin, especially when it comes to error coins. The real story with the 1977 Roosevelt dime comes when you start to look for rare and valuable errors. While most dimes from this year are pretty standard, there are some that contain significant mistakes made during the minting process. These mint errors are what collectors are after because they make a coin stand out from the rest. If you're lucky enough to find one of these rare error dimes, you could be looking at a substantial payout point. One of the most sought-after errors found on the 1977 Roosevelt dime is the double die error. A double die occurs when the coin's design is struck more than once, and each strike is slightly misaligned. This causes the design to appear duplicated, or doubled, in various parts of the coin. In the case of the 1977 dime, this doubling is often visible on the words, Liberty, or In God We Trust. Sometimes, you'll even see doubling around the date itself. This error is one of the most exciting things to find when examining a 1977 dime, as it significantly increases the coin's rarity and value. A well-defined double die error can make your dime worth far more than face value. Another error to watch for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned with the dies during the minting process. When this happens, the design of the coin doesn't line up perfectly, and the image is shifted to one side of the coin. Off-center dimes are highly valued by collectors because they're unusual and distinctive. The more misaligned the strike, the more valuable the dime can be. If you find a 1977 dime with a noticeable off-center strike, don't let it slip away. It could be worth a lot more than just 10 cents. There are also broad strike errors to look for. A broad strike happens when a coin is struck without a collar, the part of the die that helps shape the coin's edges. This causes the coin to spread out, making it larger and flatter than normal. Broad strike dimes are rare and collectible, and a 1977 dime with this type of error can fetch a premium price. The more extreme the broad strike, the more valuable the coin becomes to collectors looking for unique and rare specimens. It's also important to consider the coin's condition when determining its value. If your 1977 dime is in excellent condition, meaning it has little to no wear and maintains its sharp details, it will likely be worth more than one that's been heavily circulated. Coins in high-grade condition are always more valuable, even if they don't have any minting errors. If your 1977 dime is in near-perfect shape, it could still fetch a higher price than its face value. Now, let's talk about the money. How much could a rare 1977 Roosevelt dime with a minting error be worth? While most of the 1977 dimes you'll come across are only worth their face value of 10 cents, error dimes in great condition can command a much higher price. In fact, a particularly well-preserved 1977 dime with an error, such as a doubled die or off-center strike, has sold for an incredible $64,000 at auction. Yes, you read that right, $64,000 for a single dime. Imagine finding a coin that small but worth such a massive amount of money. That's the excitement and allure of coin collecting. Even seemingly common coins like the 1977 dime can turn out to be extremely valuable if they have the right errors or are in outstanding condition. So, what should you do if you find a 1977 dime in your collection or in your change? Start by closely inspecting it for any signs of a doubled die, off-center strike, or broad strike. Look at the design carefully, especially the lettering and date. If you spot any unusual characteristics or errors, it could be worth sending the coin to a professional grading service for authentication. A certified error coin is always worth more than an ungraded one, so make sure you get it checked out if you believe you've found a valuable dime. Have you ever found a rare or unusual 1977 dime, or any other coin with an error? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins and how to spot rare finds, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell notification so you never miss an exciting new video. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting! Number 6. 1988 D Quarter Dollar. Step back in time with me and take a closer look at one of the most fascinating quarters to ever circulate in the United States. We're talking about the 1988 D Washington quarter, a coin that has left collectors and enthusiasts in awe, not just because of its rarity but also its extraordinary value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just starting to pay attention to the coins in your pocket, this is one story you won't want to miss. The Washington quarter has been an iconic part of American coinage since its debut in 1932, honoring the first president of the United States, George Washington. Over the years, countless quarters have been minted, but only a select few hold the status of being truly remarkable. The 1988 D is one of those coins, a piece that defies expectations and tells a unique story about its time in circulation. But what makes this quarter so special? Why are collectors willing to go to extraordinary lengths to get their hands on one? To understand the allure of the 1988 D quarter, we need to examine its origins. Minted in Denver, the D mint mark on this coin signifies its birthplace, a detail that adds to its intrigue. At first glance, it may seem like just another quarter, but closer inspection reveals unique characteristics that elevate its value far beyond face value. Some of these features are subtle, hiding in plain sight, while others are tied to historical context, minting techniques, and even unintentional errors. One of the key factors that makes the 1988 D quarter so valuable is the possibility of mint errors. As collectors know, mint errors can transform an ordinary coin into a highly sought-after treasure. These errors could include anything from misaligned dies to doubled designs, off-center strikes, or even subtle differences in lettering or date. What's even more fascinating is how these errors come to be small, unnoticed anomalies during the minting process that create coins unlike any others in existence. The 1988 D quarter is believed to harbor some of these elusive traits, which makes it a magnet for treasure hunters. Another aspect to consider is the sheer rarity of finding a 1988 D quarter in pristine condition. Many of these coins have been through decades of use, making it exceedingly rare to come across one that hasn't been worn down by time. Coins in higher grades, especially those that have been well preserved or professionally graded, are where the real value lies. Imagine finding a coin in circulation today that has stood the test of time, maintaining its original luster and detail. That's part of the magic of the 1988 D quarter. It's like uncovering a hidden gem in the most unexpected places. This quarter's value isn't just about its physical condition or minting anomalies. Its historical context also plays a role. The 1980s were a time of transition in American coinage, with technological advancements and shifts in production practices influencing the way coins were made. The 1988 D quarter reflects this period, capturing a moment in time when precision and artistry merged, even in everyday currency. For collectors, owning a piece of this history is like holding a tangible connection to the past. Now, let's get to the part you've been waiting for. How much is this incredible coin worth today? It's one thing to marvel at the rarity and craftsmanship of the 1988 D quarter, but its value is what truly sets it apart. In the world of numismatics, this quarter has achieved legendary status, commanding attention and high bids whenever it appears at auction. Are you ready for the jaw-dropping figure? Imagine owning a quarter valued at $56,000. Yes, you've heard that right. A single coin, once worth just 25 cents, has reached extraordinary heights, making it one of the most valuable quarters in circulation. So, the next time you're going through your spare change or come across a quarter that seems just a little different, take a closer look. Who knows? You might be holding the key to an incredible story, a piece of history, or even a small fortune. Have you ever found a rare coin in your collection or in your pocket change? Share your experiences in the comments below. Let's see how many hidden treasures we can uncover together.